Now you listening to Prime Stars. Prime Stars. Prime Stars.
Yo, Black Sand, Ill Lodge, yo. You're the abomination of fornication from your generation. Your hesitation got me pacing, start to question patience. Sire made it, make the victim fall. My habitat, just pick them off. I make them shake like Ricky Ross, I'm missing Moss. 5 guys on with force, 4 scores, 7 years. Eliminate the debonair with royal blood, I'll make them pairs. Adjust the clear and present fair, cause what you saw was never there. Illumination, concentration, mutilation, talk to Satan.
And with this right hand, I solemnly swear to kill them all. The same dudes making buildings fall, enforcing martial law.
Yeah, I'm sitting burning cigarettes. I see the silhouette, the gunmen, the henchmen, the combat, my X-Men. Couple Wolverines, a bunch of Cyclops, the types I like to quote cops. You'll never find on my block. Skip to my loop, don't mind if I do. I'm loading ammo and rocking camo on my 90s era, wearing flannel. Tune to CNN, the war report was very scary. You're all I need in this, your 411, Mary. Look, yeah.
Prime Stars. Prime Stars.
No fakes around me, fuck the industry. This ain't Facebook, ain't none of y'all friends to me. Cause I'm in the Xbox, none of them connected me. When I'm around, alarms raised like it's an emergency. Verbally wording me, I be murdering everything. Got a pad in the pen with me, with it I'm heaven sent. I'm a walking conglomerate, spitting the record straight. I can never relate to anything put on your dinner plate,